morning. It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And hopefully the connection survives. So welcome. I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for the next 3 days. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 11th, 12th and 13th of October 2023. So I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday, the 11th of October here, and the time is exactly 7:40 a.m. So welcome. Hopefully someone's watching out there. So let me know if you're watching, please, and if I see your comments, I'll say hello, but I don't see anyone live right now, so I can come back and see your comments later if you join later on the replay. So I trust this video finds you well and that you're having a good had a good start to your week. Lots of focus was our intention in the cards that we pulled before. Okay, so I do have some people watching, even though it doesn't say that, which is fine. Hi Jacoba and Lindsay, welcome. So lots of focus Monday, Tuesday. Very interested to see what the potential for the rest of the week has for us. What I'm going to do is use my oracle cards that I created, Speed of Light Oracle and the Animal Kingdom Oracle, and I'm looking for one card for each day, for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then one card for the theme. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone, so I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you and gives you perhaps some food for thought or something that aligns with what you've got going on at this time. So I'm looking now, hi Lillian from Alberta, I'm looking for the best card for the majority of us for Wednesday the 11th of October. And the best card is this one. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it is this. Oh, it's our friend the Tiger Shark. This came up last week, I think, and it's card 20, and it says to open your heart. So there is a feeling here that maybe some of us, by the time we get to Wednesday, may have become a bit hard-shelled or a little bit on guard, and we're being encouraged to soften up. Hi, Rebna. Being encouraged to soften up and really open up to our softness, our sensitivity. Hi, Judith. Really open our heart, open that softer energy. So it feels like we may have become a bit hard-shelled, perhaps a little fixed in something, some opinion that we've got or some issue that we're dealing with. Hi, Deb. And that we may have, when we become hard-shelled, I think of like the shark down in sort of shark position. Hi, Chris. And there is this sense of hardness, of showing its fins, of almost a protection, but maybe there's a feeling here with this particular card that we may find it helpful to lift away, or at least find a balance, hi Raven, with our the heart, between the hard and the soft sides of ourselves. So has something become a bit hard and rigid, or a bit stuck, or a bit stiff, or a little rough, a little sharp, that or fixed, that you could perhaps look at softening on Wednesday. So an open heart. So those of you who are watching, because I don't feel this way, but those of you who are watching who have been hurt in your heart in the past, and usually when we've been hurt in the heart, especially something that hits us very deeply and personally, we do tend to cover up our heart to protect ourselves from being hurt again. And hi Margarita, and what that does is it protects us for the time being at the initial beginning stages of healing. But what I've noticed is a lot of people tend to keep that covering there. they keep the protection up over their heart. They keep their heart guarded and tucked away so it won't be hurt again. And unless this was something that recently happened in the last few weeks or months, if it's something really big and personal, maybe in the last year, but if it's something from years ago and you still keep your heart very protected and on guard and you're not letting love in, hi Marianne, then this also might be something to explore, because if you're not letting love in, there's a restriction on the love or the care or the offering, the compassion that you're also sending out. Because the heart, I find the heart like a space, like there's a capacity within our heart. It's like a bowl or a space, a room to fill with love, and a room to give and receive love. And maybe love's not quite the best word for you. If you prefer to replace it with care or something else, then please do. But just be careful if you've been hurt in the heart in the past, that you're not still keeping your heart closed and tucked away in fear of being hurt again. How could you soften or let your guard down, let that hardness go, so that you can let your heart open? And when you let your heart open, yes, sure, you wear your heart out on your chest a little bit, and you might potentially be hurt again, maybe, but maybe not. In fact, I think the more we tuck ourselves or our heart away in fear of being hurt again, the more likely that we probably are going to be hurt again. So if we can find the courage to let our heart come out now, out of its hiding place, out of its healing cave, and see what the world has to offer here with an open heart, and see what happens. Okay, so that's our guidance for Wednesday. Open your heart. So pop the card back in, and I'm looking for the best card for the majority of us for Thursday, the 12th of October. And the best card is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card, and it's the Tree Maiden, card 42. And it says endings, surrender, growth and illumination. This is quite a potent card. It talks about something being under the spotlight or under the magnifying glass, especially around Thursday, something being amplified. So that means something being louder than what it really is. It could be something trying to get our attention, an issue that we have that would be good for us to try and resolve, because the more we ignore something, the louder it becomes. And the more we ignore something like an issue or a problem that we have that we're not resolving, then the louder it's going to be. So why does it get loud? It gets loud to try and get our attention. So if we ignore things or we run the other way, we can't really escape our issues. We can't really run fast enough or go to the other side of the earth and hide away somewhere enough to be rid of them if we're running. So the best way we can face what's happening, or the best way we can deal with and resolve what's happening, is to face those issues. Because if we ignore them, they get louder. It's like snowball effect. So it becomes louder and louder and louder and more amplified. And every time that issue's triggered and it comes back around again and again, the louder it becomes, until we have the courage to stop and face it and stop running. So that intense energy that's around, especially on Thursday, is there because there's something loud that's potentially trying to get our attention. It could be something that's triggered, because that's sort of a popular word, I suppose, the last couple of years. This sort of trigger, something that, a pattern, I think triggers are patterns that repeat themselves. And I find, for me anyway, that works for me, this visual is, I imagine a trigger or a pattern. It's like a wheel, and there's a little notch in the wheel, and every time the wheel spins around and that little notch is triggered, or it gets to the trigger point, then that activates that trigger, which activates that pattern. And what it is something that just keeps repeating itself around and around until we resolve that pattern or resolve that issue. So it could be some, it could be really be anything. It could be a way that we think about ourselves, a way that we put ourselves down. It could be how we think we should be treated, as well. So it could be very personal sort of stuff that's sort of triggered around in those that sort of pattern that repeats itself. So there is illumination, there's amplification in this card, there's something loud that it really is a gift, because it's we're going to notice it. The louder it is, the more we'll notice it. So that is a gift. It's not something to run from. The more we run, the louder it's going to be. There are endings in this card, so it's bringing forward, closing doors, bringing something to an end. And there's also growth that's promised from this card. If we can stop and face whatever's loud and whatever's amplified and whatever's being triggered, and we can look at it closely, and we can look at how to resolve and release whatever that issue is, so that we can free that up within us and then move forward on our life adventure. Hi, Melina. So that's for Thursday. Let's grab the best card for Friday the 13th of October. So Friday the 13th is my monthly online art class and my online card reading club. If you'd like to be a part of either or both of those, then please have a look on my website, and you might find them great. They are quite fantastic, actually, to connect with others on Zoom and pull some and read some cards together, and also create together is really fun. So check it out if you're inspired to at templeofbalance.com.au. And the best card for Friday the 13th of October is this. It's a featured card. So it has further instructions here, which say to fan out the deck and choose another card. So I'll fan out and just go with this card, the Raven. So there's quite intense energies coming up for, the Shark, open your heart. That can be fairly soft for those of us that haven't guarded our heart or tucked our heart away to protect it. If we have done that, then it can be a very intense card. And the Tree Maiden is quite an intense card. These are, the Raven's quite intense too, but let's look at these two cards. I've come up together for a reason for Friday. Hi, Lucy. And we're going to look at them separately first, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So we've got the Medicine Pouch, card 54, and it says resources, gather, knowledge, and collect. So this is about gathering resources. Usually it's about finances. We don't tend to gather things like food and things like we used to in our ancestors used to do. Thankfully, we don't need to do that. We have all the food, most of the food that we need at our fingertips, which is quite the blessing. So this tends to come up around finances, but in general it's resources. It could also be information that you might be gathering. So it could be things like research that you're doing to research some idea that you've got, or some project that you potentially want to develop, or some career path that you want to go down, and really research and get information to fill up that medicine pouch and figure out the best way to proceed, or if this is something that we want to do. So it could be knowledge or information, but it does tend to lean towards the finances side. So the medicine pouch is about gathering and collecting. So it's about saving. It's about putting our resources together. It's about putting our resources together, pooling things. It's about looking at our budget and our financial situation, perhaps, and look at taking steps to reduce our debt, or reduce the powerlessness or the attachment that we have to our finances or our debt, and really look at how we can get back in charge of the material things we have, or the money that we earn and the expenses that go out. So if something's not quite right there, and you've been really questioning your income versus expenses, or your budget, or your debt, then this is something very strong coming in for Friday. And it's very much focused around, okay, how can I collect things? How can I gather? Or how can I get my power back? Because there's something very empowering about having that medicine pouch that's full of resources that we need when we need them. So if you find that your medicine pouch, if that's a money pouch, if it's like a sieve and all the finances are just sort of draining out the bottom, it might be worth looking at why. Can you tighten things up with your budget? Can you, or with your spending? What things do you need to do to get back in a sense of empowerment with the income or the finances that you have available? I find it quite disempowering to be sending money out to a lot of debts, for example, and it feels more like, for me anyway, almost like I'm in control of my finances, which is how I want to be, when I'm not thinning my finances and my money out too much through obligations and debt and things like that. So it might be worth thinking about, but that's the medicine pouch, collecting and gathering and saving resources. And it comes up with card 17, the Raven. The Raven says to look, no it doesn't, it says to face your shadow with honesty. So this is a bit like the Tree Maiden card in regards to when I was talking about things being loud and amplified, and the more we ignore them or run away or pretend they don't exist, then the louder that issue becomes. And it might not become loud straight away unless it's something quite urgent and prominent in our life. It could be something that settles for a bit, and then 6 months later something happens, something triggers, and it's louder than before, and gets louder and louder and louder, and trying to get our attention. So the Raven is about facing that kind of shadowy energy, the stuff that we try and run away from, the stuff that we struggle to face or struggle to deal with in our life, but we have to deal with it. And it could be, because it's come up with the medicine pouch here, it could be facing our problems in finances or our problems in the resources that we might be gathering, but probably especially finances. That if we keep ignoring this drain to our medicine pouch, this drain to our financial bag that that represents our income and our expenses, but hopefully our income is more than our expenses. If we just if coins are just draining out of this bag, it might be something that we should face sooner rather than later. What do we need to face about our financial situation? And what can we do about getting our power back with that and mending any holes in our medicine pouch? It almost feels like there's a big hole at the bottom here, and we might be walking along with life and leaving just a trail of coins behind us, and it's just been wasted. So are there wastings that are happening? Are we spending on things that we don't need to be spending on right now? Do we need to tighten up our purse strings in some way? And because the Raven's here, we probably need to face this sooner rather than later, before this whole bag is open and things are just going in and out, and you might even be feeling that now. So it's urgent then to get out your needle and thread and start sewing up this pouch and getting back in control of your financial situation. So that's what I'm feeling here, and it might be confronting. The Raven is a confronting card. The shadow is a confronting energy. It's stuff we've been ignoring and pretending it's going to be okay, but maybe in the reality, deep down, we know it's not. It's not okay right now. So what can we do about it? So Friday feels very favourable to do something about it, and don't wait till Friday. If you're feeling this Wednesday, start doing it straight away. That's what the Tree Maiden, things get louder and louder and louder the more we ignore it. So don't put it off. Even though this says Friday, I wouldn't put that off either if you're feeling it. But we might find naturally it seems to want to happen on Friday, where we look closely at our finances and what's going on there. The shadow side of our finances, perhaps. So there are our cards for the next 3 days. I'm going to pull a theme card in just a moment. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. If you would prefer to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. Please interact on the video so that Facebook thinks that people want to see it, because it seems to also help people that haven't seen videos or posts for months or even years to pop back up in their news feed. So please don't be afraid to interact. But I do understand that Facebook's a bit of a pain like that, because it seems to show all of our own friends what we're interacting on instead of people in the group. But if you're happy to interact, that would be fantastic. So I've got my online art class and my card reading club, which happens monthly, coming up on Friday. So check those out if you're interested. If you want to learn more about my cards I've used today, you can use them separately, or you can combine them like this, or my pendants and earrings and supportive services and lots of things I offer on my website and through Temple of Balance. So please visit templeofbalance.com.au if you're inspired to learn more about me or even support my work, which I'm very, very, very grateful for. So thank you to everyone who does and has been supporting my work. So let's see which card we need for our theme for these couple of days. So there is a general intensity that's here. There's a general confrontation. We've got shadowy energy that's kind of come up all the 3 days. So it might be a little uncomfortable or a lot uncomfortable, especially if we've been ignoring the truth. So let's see what our theme card wants to add. The best card for the theme, hi Sasha, is this. It's the Sea Dragon again. Hi Janine. The Sea Dragon came up sometime recently. I don't know. So much has been happening. I forget exactly when. It's card 18. And it says, be gentle with yourself. So yes, there is a shadowy energy. Yes, there is an intensity. Yes, things might be loud and big and dramatic for us at this time, or for the next couple of days. But we are being encouraged to be gentle with ourselves. And basically this means let's not fall into patterns of self-sabotage, but let's be proactive in our facing of the shadowy energy these next few days. So we can easily wallow in woe is me and then start sabotaging and fall into old patterns of it's kind of like a low negative space, but it's not helpful, that energy either. So that could be part of the pattern, that we fall into this depression or this desperation or this, I can't quite think of the words right now, but this low thoughts and low opinion, low self-belief, low self-confidence, where we think perhaps again that we are to blame, or that, and perhaps we are, or that why does this always happen to me? Why am I in this situation again? And we go into this spiral of self-sabotage. This is not productive. And all of the stuff that's been shared from the tiger shark through to the tree maiden and through to the medicine pouch and the raven is all very productive. It's very proactive. We're not proactive when we're in a low place, feeling sorry for ourselves, and we think we're wearing the weight of the world on our shoulders. That is not proactive. So I feel being gentle with ourselves is showing that we are gentle as we move through the loudness and the difficulties and the confrontation of what might be faced, the truth, as we move through the truth, but we move through in a way that looks for solutions. You know, how can we help ourselves through this now? Because all of those days, those 3 days, have all been quite proactive, turning things around. So let's get out of the pattern of wallowing and let's get into the start setting some new proactive steps for ourselves, for freedom and for truth. Personal freedom, personal truth, whether it is breaking finances or dealing with the things that are louder and intense that we have to face right now, whether it's letting the guard down that we've put up over our heart to keep ourselves safe and protected. Let's let these things go now. We're strong enough to be able to do this. So don't let your self-confidence and self-belief drop too low where you're not proactive. They might drop low and might be times where they're feeling quite low, but keep reassuring yourself and encouraging yourself to find a solution and get through this and to stop putting it off, because it will just come back again louder. So this is an opportunity. This is a really good opportunity for us these next few days to break those patterns, to turn things around, to be proactive and look at taking the steps we need to empower ourselves and empower ourselves in regards to our life, including our finances moving forward. That we are not victim, and that, I guess, is probably a good word to use, like when we're feeling victim, we're powerless. Our self-belief, our self-confidence is low, and we're wallowing when we're victim. And there might be all good reason why we could be victim here, but victim is not helpful, it's not proactive, it's not solution orientated, it's not empowering. And victim keeps us small. So if you've been wallowing in the victim mode, get yourself out of it. Lift yourself up. Look at taking some small steps to begin with to get yourself out of that space, and look at how you can empower yourself and turn this challenge into an opportunity. So self-support with the Sea Dragon, self-support, gentleness, be kind to ourselves as we feel our way forward, and in a proactive, productive, empowering way. So the Sea Dragon is our theme. So thank you so much for connecting. I trust this has helped you, and come back, connect with the video if you need to over the next couple of days. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for watching.